Welcome to episode 5 of the Disney edition of the Castles, Capes, and Clones podcast. Today we'll be talking about the Luca trailer, the Golden Globes, and more. We are Castles, Capes, and Clones, where we discuss everything in the Disney universe. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post, as it really does help us out. Hey everybody, I'm Loren, and I'm here with my cousin and co-pilot, Rich.
Hello.
How's it going?
Going all right?
Yeah,
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm pretty much counting down the hours to Raya and the Last Dragon. I can't wait. I don't know what I'm going to watch first. Am I going to watch WandaVision or Raya? I think WandaVision, because at least that will be, I can watch that at midnight. If I try to watch Raya, I might fall asleep. So I'll have to just wake up early for Raya.
Yeah. I can only watch, well, probably just WandaVision, but
Yeah. I've been reading reviews about Raya, and they've been good reviews.
yeah, I stopped looking at stuff. So
Yeah. I know. I just like to see what people are thinking. So anyway.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's get to the news. Today is going to be a short show because there's not a lot of news. But we'll get through it and it will be good. So, Disney and Pixar released a teaser trailer for the upcoming Luca, and Jacob Tremblay and Jack Dylan Grazer are going to be the lead voices. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a teaser.
Yeah. What did you think of it?
I mean, it looks good. I mean, sure. I mean, I'm not gonna not watch anything from
Right.
it, but I mean, I don't know.
I think it looks beautiful.
Well, yeah.
I don't know what the story is about because it was a
That's why.
teaser.
That's why I'm like,
Yeah,
I mean, it looks good. So,
but it looks beautiful. Like the color and the lighting and the layouts all look really cool.
yeah, it's and I like what I'm trying to say here. It's Pixar-y, but then again, it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Pixar is more. I mean, like, I guess they're kind of getting into more human-y kind of things, but like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I feel like the line between like Walt Disney Animation and Pixar are starting to converge.
Oh yeah.
If that makes any sense. Whereas like sometimes I don't know which studio is doing what.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's nothing against any of them. It's actually both of them are kind of evolving as they go. I think they're getting better as they go, and
yeah,
at some point, Walt Disney Studios does some things they normally don't do, and also Pixar does stuff they don't do, which kind of overlaps.
Yeah.
So,
like I thought Soul was unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this looks interesting. Like, yeah. So, anyway,
I mean, I get the vibes from it. Not to say it's a similar story, but like when Coco first teased, and you're just kind of like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah. Or if you were me, I'm like, why do we need another animated movie about this? Little did I know we did.
Always the naysayer, and then it's like, I love this movie.
I know. It's so true, though. That's totally how I am.
Yeah, I think I just like, it's Pixar. Of course, I'll like it. Like I said, like
Yeah.
kind of like Marvel. It's like even the worst, it's still good. So
Yes. Yeah.
you know,
It's so true.
for every Up and Wally, there's going to be a Cars 2.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, it's fine, but
Right. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. Love Victor season 2 will debut this June and on Hulu, and I'm excited because I really loved the first season.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I thought it was a good season.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't watched it.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm actually the worst when it comes to watching things on. I just don't have time.
Yeah.
There's so many things though I want to watch, but like I want to watch that squirrel movie that came out.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really cute.
Yeah,
Loren and Ulysses.
yeah. There's some other stuff. I was looking at it earlier today, and I'm like, I need to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll force myself at some point like that. And I forget what else I was looking at. I was like, oh man, I tend to watch more of the documentary stuff only because they're shorter, and it's not like a linear story.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. That's why I tend to watch those more than like a series, because then I'll have to keep going with the story, and it's a never ending thing. But if it's a documentary, I can like watch the subject and then come back to it later for a completely new thing in short bursts.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be getting next week the Assembled documentary series.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am too. All right. Well, the Golden Globes were last night, and Disney won 4 awards, 2 for Soul and 2 for Nomadland, which is on Hulu. So Soul won Best Animated Feature and Best Score, and Nomadland won Best Picture and Best Director for Chloe Zhao. And Chloe Zhao was the second woman in 78 years to win this award. The other one was Barbara Streisand in 84. So that's how long the gap is between the first one and the second one.
That math doesn't add up.
Huh?
Math doesn't add up.
No. I think they mean 78 years of the Golden Globes.
Oh, because I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it now. Because I'm like, wait, Barbara Streisand's not that old.
Right. Right, exactly. So it was pretty good. Did you watch the Golden Globes?
I only watched bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Because I was over at my sister's house. But I saw Chloe Zhao win something. I don't remember which one it was. It was for Best Picture Director, but that was cool. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
Asian woman. I was like, isn't she also like the first Asian woman?
It might be. I mean, yeah, I mean, she would have to be because Barbara Streisand was the first one, so she is.
Then she would be the first Asian woman to it. So that's
Asian
cool.
American woman. Yeah.
That's why I think when I was watching some parts of it, I was like, all right, sweet.
Yeah. I liked when they had the kids, and they were asking the kids all these questions about what's going on in Hollywood, and the kids like just making up answers. They don't know what it is.
Oh.
But when he asked who is Chadwick Boseman, all of them said the Black Panther. I thought that was really kind of cool.
Yeah, and he won something.
Yeah, and his widow was the.
Yeah, I saw that clip because who doesn't?
It was very emotional.
Who doesn't want to cry?
Right, I know. I was like, Yeah, I was crying.
Yeah. That was nice. But I'm assuming then that when it says Soul won for score, that means it was Trent Reznor and Atticus that won.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was a score.
So once again, if you told a 90s me that Nine Inch Nails had front man would someday win a Golden Globe for a Disney film, animated film,
yeah,
I would have been like, go away,
you're
crazy boy. Go away. Go away, crazy guy.
Right. It's very interesting.
That's kind of cool though.
Yeah. That is really cool.
Pink. Yeah. So I mean, like, I liked Soul. Definitely for its music. So I'm glad it won.
Yeah, I am glad it won too. Although I was rooting for Onward, but just because I like that film more than Soul. But I have to watch Soul again. I do. I think I watch it at 4:00 in the morning, and
I feel like that might not be the best time.
Yeah. So I'll have to watch it again because I'm sure that I'm going to be like, what was I thinking?
Which I can't remember like which movies, but you have done that before.
Yeah, with Galaxy Quest, Nightmare Before Christmas, Hocus Pocus.
What?
Yeah, these were all movies that I thought were stupid when I first watched it. So, although I don't think Soul is stupid, it just didn't connect with me emotionally. That was my issue with it.
My two biggest ones in my life were Christmas Story when it first came out as a kid. I was like, what is this crap? And The Matrix, which all of my friends loved, but I walked out of that theater first time going like, I don't get it. Then I watched it again, and then I was like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
I must have been like tired or something, because I was like, was I watching the movie when I went to see it the first time? So
I know, right?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Anyway, moving on. Hold on, sorry, close this. So there's going to possibly be a shorter theatrical window for movies coming out, and said Bob Chapek at a convention. And he said the consumer is probably more impatient than they've ever been before, particularly since now they've had the luxury of an entire year of getting titles at home pretty much when they want them. So I'm not sure there's going back, but we certainly don't want to do anything like cut the legs of the theatrical exhibition run.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're moving towards that anyway.
Right.
With home theaters and the technology getting better, and like delivery systems, streaming definitely, like a lot, like at some point theatrical movies are going to have to compete with, I mean, a lot more with the streaming service movies, which are, when Netflix started doing movies, you're just like, oh, these are kind of like your typical home straight to video kind of things.
Yeah.
But as time has gone on, they've become contenders for a lot of like accolades and stuff. I mean, Nomadland was probably always going to be a home, like I would say home video, but like not a theatrical kind of thing.
Right.
When we watched that movie Booksmart,
right?
We felt that it probably would have done better if it just came out straight on Netflix, because it seems like one of those movies that people will watch because of word of mouth.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
It's a movie like they might think twice about spending like $17 on.
Yeah.
But will not think twice to watch it on Netflix.
Oh yeah.
And it was, I think it deserved a little more than it got.
Yeah.
But I think it's because the landscape for movie going is changed.
Right.
Especially also like, we've talked about this before, like it's almost like an oversaturation pre-COVID for movies coming to theaters, where I've become more selective when it comes to going to the theater. So it's the movies that, like Booksmart, like we kind of said, like we would probably only have gone to see it because we were bored and we wanted to see something and wasn't nothing else there.
Right.
So it was almost like on a whim we kind of wanted to go see it.
Yeah.
But if there was anything else out, it would probably have been last on the list. If that makes any sense? Like with the churn of all the big budget blockbusters, it's hard for me to watch something in the theater that's not something I feel like is worth the money.
Yeah.
For the experience of watching something with, like, sad to say, explosions and soundscapes that will make it almost worth sitting in a theater with those kind of amenities. Right.
I think that they're definitely going to watch how Raya does to figure out what they're going to do moving forward. Because Raya has better reviews than Mulan did. So I think there are more people who are excited to see this film. I know I am.
Yeah, I think yes. And then I think, I mean, they haven't said it yet, but I think they haven't said it yet, but Black Widow would have been also a good indicator.
Yeah.
Because it was a highly anticipated movie with a built-in fan base that usually, floods the theaters, and, every Marvel movie makes like $1 billion.
Right.
So, and I know it was one of those kind of, we want to wait because we want that money. We want that experience. But I think for the movie going, for the studios and whatever, to see how well that kind of movie would have done, would have been a good indicator, or at least something to be like, okay, this is achievable. Like Tenet, I think they thought it was going to be that, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
And Mulan, again, we said, like, as much as it's a good movie, I think it had a lot of stigma tied to it.
Yeah, there was a lot of people
and it was still early on, and so people were still hopeful that movie theaters were going to open like in the fall.
Right.
So I think movies like that, the James Bond movie, the Top Gun movie, I think would have been, like, highly anticipated movies would have been a good indicator to see what would be possible. And so Raya, I mean, it looks good. It's epic. And if it's getting good reviews, that probably help it more than some of the other ones. Because even Tenet had like weird reviews. Like people, Nolan's movies tend to be cerebral. So it's not for the casual, so to speak. Raya's movie, that especially for families, I think, and I'm hopeful that it'll do well in this model. And then going forward this year, because I still am convinced we're not going to be able to go to theaters. We do get some more movies in a similar fashion. Like, there are markets that are open to the theaters, so let that run.
Right. Yeah, I mean, do exactly what they're doing with Raya.
Yeah.
Releasing it in the theaters and on premiere, because there are just going to be people like us who are going to feel nervous going to a theater.
Yeah.
And it's just, we're in unprecedented times. Yeah. So I'm glad that they're thinking about it.
Yeah. And I think, Chapek has a good point. Like, this year has taught us that we can get these things in the home first, right? And for a lot of people, especially moving forward, even if all of a sudden the world was open, I think psychologically all of us have been, I won't say traumatized, but like we're so weary of other people.
Right.
That if they said, all right, as soon as you get the vaccination, everything is good to go.
Right.
I would still go out in public and kind of been like, why are you so near me?
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I think it's going to take a while before if we ever get back to what we were pre-COVID.
Right.
And so these kind of things, I think should be viable. And I think that space in between the theatrical release and like home video release, I think we've all kind of tolerated, but like, when a movie comes out, I mean, like, unless it's like a super blockbuster,
right?
Like, no, like if even when like Star Wars came out and stuff, I don't find myself going back to go see it like a month and a half later in the theater.
Yeah.
Right. It's usually in that first couple weeks when I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go see it this week. I'm gonna see it twice next week, and then if I liked it, I mean, depending if I liked it, and then maybe a third week if I'm like someone I know is like, oh, I haven't seen it yet. Well, let's go, or let's watch it again.
Right.
For watching's sake, and then because I know that then okay, I'm good. I've had my share, and then it'll come out in like 3 months on DVD.
Yeah.
I think that shortening that time frame, this makes sense. Like everyone who will want to see it in the theater will see it in that first 3 weeks to a month. Right. And then the people who don't, because it's expensive to go out on the town with your family, can get it a month later in the comfort of their own home. Like the box, when I don't think people are going to stop going to the theater altogether when things go back to normal. It's an experience. Like me and you would love to go back to the theater. Like I love watching movies in the theater.
Me too.
It's just a different experience, especially for all the big budget-y, like, tentpole movies, right?
Yeah.
I would rather watch Mariah in the theater. I'd rather watch Mulan in the theater, or watch Marvel movies in the theater. First. But I think
right now,
I think what COVID did is accelerate what was inevitable.
Right.
So, I mean, like, if you think about it, when we were younger, like movies would come out and we would not see movies on like VHS for like a year after, or even longer. It was like harder to get home video. But the more and more people that got VCRs and all that kind of stuff, you can see it. Like, I remember when Batman came out, and then it came out on home video, and it was like cheap. Like usually when movies came out on home video back then, it was like $90, $100 to buy it. So no one really did. You just went to the like Blockbuster to rent it. But I remember like Batman came out and it was like, it's $20, and you're like, what? Then you go buy it. And then I remember when like Phantom Menace came out on VHS, I bought that. And then like obviously the Disney animated movie home market blew up. So home video kind of adapted also to the times, where it used to take a while to get a movie, then it became this cycle basically. Theatrical release, it's out for like 3 months, and then 3 to 6 months later it comes out on home video. And I think we're just living in a time where technology and people are watching on their phones, streaming things. You don't have to go to the store to get the movies anymore.
Right.
I
just people with a couple of clicks of the button, I'm able to get whatever.
Like to get Raya, I mean, like they did the pre-order thing, but you don't really need to.
Right.
You get it, and then it'll just, when it's ready, boom, there it is. But I think he's right. Like I think the people at large are no longer patient enough to wait as long for home viewing experience after a theatrical run.
Yeah.
So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of this has to do with the success of Disney Plus. And one of the other things that Chapek said during this conference was that they underestimated the non-traditional family or like people who are not family oriented.
Yeah.
How popular it would be amongst that group as well, like us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is gotta be. I mean, look what's going on now with all the other streaming services. Like HBO is doing their theatrical and home video version, but like they're doing it in a weird way where it's like the movie comes out on both, but then 30 days later it's only available in the theaters, and then later down the line it comes back.
Yeah.
There's that. And then Paramount is now opening theirs this week, which technically was CBS All Access, but now it's Paramount Plus. So that all their movies can kind of live there, and it makes more sense for them. And I think they're going to watch very closely what happens with Disney and HBO Max,
right,
for their movies that are coming out. You know, they're the ones who have like the Top Gun movie, and stuff like that, just waiting.
Definitely.
So, you know, in a world where we're like, when cable was the biggest thing, and we're all like, why am I paying so much money for like 8,000 channels and where I only really watch 12? You know, we're coming to the point like, oh my God, there's so many streaming services. Which one am I gonna get them all? Do I just do the 1 month binge switch, 1 month binge thing?
Yeah.
But it's kind of what we wanted. We wanted a la carte channels.
Yeah.
We kind of got it. But now it's just like, I don't think we realized the scope of what that meant.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
I think what we wanted was like just a movie channel and all the movies, which no one thought about licenses and, you know, like studio deals. I'm like, you can't have all those movies all in one spot because there's so many different people involved.
Yeah.
But now we kind of know. And now it's like, all right. I mean, this is the future. Like, I was watching some tours of like mansions and like new homes and stuff, and like so many of them have like their own home theater.
Right.
And it's almost to the point where it's like a given that there's a home theater in these big houses. So, yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. There's nuiMO fever in the world. And this month, they have released a Kermit and Miss Piggy nuiMO. And guess what is in my shopping cart right now?
At least Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it, Miss Piggy. I went into the craze, and the first one that I got is Daisy in her Rapunzel outfit. Look at how cute she is. Oh my gosh. I know. It's like, it's addicting because
it's smart.
Yeah, exactly. So I can't wait. I want both Kermit and Miss Piggy, but I can't go too crazy.
Yeah, they're not, it's not terribly expensive, but it's like there's a lot of options. And that's what they get you. Like, yeah, it's like, and then they have the normal stuff, and then like every month they're releasing like limited edition versions of stuff. So it's
like their new outfits every month.
Yeah,
they take some of them off.
Yeah,
put on new outfits, and some of them will stay in the collection.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right. So you know, next thing you know, you're gonna have like nuiMO closets and
like nuiMO bedrooms
and
houses.
Yeah,
I know that people would buy that for sure.
So I mean, if they came out with a Three Caballeros outfit I would get Donald.
Yeah, I was going to get Donald this month.
Yeah.
And then
Miss Piggy.
Kermit and Miss Piggy came out, and I have to have Miss Piggy. Yeah. He's my favorite Muppet.
Yeah, I just started watching the Muppets. Like, is this working? I kind of have it playing.
Isn't it good? Background.
It's so it's like I want them to like do it again, but I don't think they can do that kind of a show again. I think just the time, it's easy to think back and be like, oh, it's like a kid show. It's not really a kid show.
No.
Like especially that first season, like they're very adult-like.
Right.
Like Kermit. What surprised me about it is Kermit's a little mean in the first episode, in the first season.
Yeah.
It's not till later that it's a Kermit we kind of know, but like even the first season was a little dark.
Right. It's very funny.
But yeah, I don't think they can do that again, and it's made me sad a little bit. I'm like, oh man, I miss like these kind of shows, like the variety.
Me too.
Shows of our youth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good. Like for the time, it still stands up, I think.
Right. I think so too.
And just like I was watching, and like the music, some of the musical interludes, I'm just like, this is crazy. Like I'm sitting there, I believe that Ralph and Electric Mayhem are playing these instruments because they're not just playing like pop songs. They're playing like sometimes it's classical, sometimes it's very like different genres, like jazzy and stuff. And it's like, but good, like really good.
Yeah.
And
they really do a good job.
And they make you believe that they're playing, and it's amazing. Yeah. And I wish they can recapture the magic that the Muppets are. Like they're not strictly kid stuff, but it's not strictly just adult. It's like that. I don't know. Like they had that magic combination back then.
Right. It was like a subversive humor.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was, for both adults and children.
Yeah.
Because children thought it was funny, and adults got the kind of more adult humor.
Yeah, and like the like whatever sauce they did to make that combination to come out the way it did worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've been trying to do it, but they either do too much on the adult side or too much on the kid side.
Yeah.
So it's finding that balance, and it's a hard thing. I think that like the Jim Henson group back then was just one they're geniuses. So I'm hoping I hope they don't stop trying.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I mean?
Adding them as nuiMOs has to be a good sign that they're going to continue to utilize the Muppets. So, and I think there's another show of the Muppets coming out again.
I think so.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Right.
Yeah. Muppets.
All right. So the final story that we have is A Touch of Disney Food Guide is out. And along with the food items available at DCA, it will feature food from Disneyland, familiar food fests, kiosks, and new items. So there'll be Dole Whip,
like
skewers from,
That's like one of my number ones when I go back.
Right. Skewers from Bengal Barbecue. Monte Cristo from Blue Bayou.
Which it's a half version of it, so which makes sense because it's the Blue Bayou, and that's also Cafe Orleans when they have it there. They're little sort of sit down restaurants, so it's a little more expensive. So it's not your typical, I don't know, food fest-ish fare, but like a half of it, I totally go for.
Right.
And probably actually all I could eat anyway. So.
There's also a toasted cheese sandwich with tomato basil soup from Jolly Holiday,
which I get often.
I love a good grilled cheese with a tomato soup. That's so good. Yeah.
That's good there.
There's Walt's Chili from Carnation Cafe, chicken gumbo from Cafe Orleans, and the sweet and spicy chicken wings from Trader Sam's. Wow, it looks like it's going to be good.
Yeah, there's a lot that they're offering, and a lot of new food items that I haven't seen before, and then some of the food from some of the past festivals there. So, I hope that it works, and I hope that they, I don't know, if this still goes on for a while,
right?
That we get a mix, like a rotation, because I think, we talked about it last time. The pricing is pretty high, and it would take a lot to get me to go back again after the initial. But I think if they kept offering different things, that might be an incentive to go back. Like, I would love if they went, and at some point they were like, and here are the Plaza Inn, like the fried chicken from the Plaza Inn,
right?
And stuff like that. Stuff from the Mexican restaurant also, which is my other favorite place to go to.
Right. So, Rancho del Zocalo.
Yeah. So hopefully, but yeah.
I can't wait for it. I hope it doesn't sell out like quickly, because.
Oh, I mean, I feel like definitely the first week will probably.
Right, which I don't plan to go.
Yeah, but I think if it's, it's not that. I don't think this is going to be a short-term thing. So I think they're in it for the long haul. So eventually, it's going to taper out, I think.
Right.
And again, they're going to have to do that kind of rotating thing so that there's an incentive for return or repeat visits.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, we've come to the end of our program. Be sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the bell for notifications, and do like this post. Share our post with your family and friends, please. We'd love to get the word out there. You can always reach us at podcasts@castlescapesandclones.com. You can also reach us on Instagram and Twitter as well. But we'd love to get your feedback, good or bad. Leave comments below. Today, what was your favorite story of the day? Mine was the Muppet nuiMO. You can always reach me personally on Twitter @Lojav and on Instagram @Loren Javier. And all of this is going to be listed below. How about you, Rich?
You can find me both on Twitter and Instagram @R2Romasanta.
All right. Well, the opinions expressed on today's podcast are solely our own and do not represent the Walt Disney Company, its subsidiaries, or assets. Thanks so much for joining us, and we will see you later.
Yep. Catch you on the flip side.